All right, hi everyone. Hello. All right, I'm going to talk briefly about the Global Mission Team and ELCA Good Gifts, but first I'd like to read a short excerpt from an essay written by a refugee who is now an adult describing their childhood overseas. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to live in a world without color? I think all the joy would slowly leak out of my heart and I would just shrivel up and fade into the gray mist. I have always loved color. As a small child, I would lie in the tall grass of a meadow surrounded only by this succulent green and just a slice of blue above my head. I would pretend that I lived in a green world. I was never consciously grateful for the beauty of color, however, until one particular and special day. I was 8. And my family was living in one room. School was held in the basement of a building. At school, we had some paper, which we used sparingly, and pencils, which we sharpened with a penknife, a task at which I was curiously inept and always ended up with a crooked and misshapen stub. One day, our teacher's long and sorrowful face bore a happy smile. "What's up?" we wondered. "Children," he pronounced, "we have received a large shipment of school supplies from America." He had 2 huge boxes under his table, and he started taking out all kinds of wonderful things. He passed out notebooks, paper, construction and graph paper, pencils, erasers, sharpeners, and then handed each one of us a narrow, long wooden box with a colorful scene on top. Curious, we tried to open the boxes right away, but we're not sure just how to do it. One of the older kids tried sliding the lid out, and it worked. We could not believe what was inside. Lots and lots of pencils in every shade imaginable. Some of the smaller kids had never seen anything like it before. Our teacher explained that American children had donated their own money to buy these supplies. Could that be true? School kids just like us giving their own money for children they didn't even know? I thought that the American people must be the most generous country in the whole world. I think this day turned us into people who give and not just take. I know it had a profound influence on my character. Our teacher wrote the English words "thank you" on the blackboard in large letters and asked us to copy them on a piece of paper and draw a picture to send to America. We complied happily and drew our usual scenes of houses we no longer had, pets we lost, and family members with all the members present. What was different this time was that all of the people were smiling, the flowers bloomed in every fantasy color from the box, the houses had colorful doors and shutters, and the sun was constantly shining on all that beauty. We received much support from America in the form of food and clothing until we could stand on our own feet. However, the pencil box will always be the gift most treasured. The wonderful thing about this essay is that I know it really happened because the writer was my mother. She was a refugee kid in Europe, and it's a true story. But the best part, I think, is how it reminds us that even a small act, like a pencil box with colored pencils, can have a profound effect on a person and their future outlook on life. I don't need to tell you that. You see that day in and day out in small acts done by people here at Pilgrim, whether it's serving a hot meal or offering to help a busload of exhausted strangers who may become your friends. With that in mind, here are 2 more ways that you can do something small that could have a big effect on someone's life. And now we can go to the next slide. First, consider ELCA Good Gifts as a way to honor a loved one. I bought this goat as a way to honor my mom. And if you go to the next slide, there's the Balleluia card, which I think is, you can get that card and give it to someone. And there's another slide of the goat. These goats go around the world to families that can use them to help sustain their small farms or whatnot. And then the last slide. And secondly, consider joining the Global Mission Team. If you're interested in Pilgrim's work around the world, including on world hunger, climate change, refugees, our relationships in El Salvador and Southern Africa, et cetera, we'd love to have you join us. We meet about 4 times a year to just help publicize Pilgrim's work in these areas. Our next meeting will be over Zoom at 6:30 p.m. this Thursday, May 2nd. You can find the link in the church announcements, or if you can't find it, just email me or Pastor Christian or the church office and we'll get the link to you, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.